Hello, my name is Anna Rose. I am the CEO and co-founder of Videopath. Videopath is an interactive video solution for content marketers and brands. We allow people to take their videos and add context to that video. We do have some cases in the medical community, and I think that leads me a little bit to this conversation. So this is Elaine Warburton. She's the CEO and co-founder of QuantuMDx. Elaine, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
That's great. So as I said, Elaine Warburton, CEO, co-founder of QuantuMDx. QuantuMDx was set up around 8 years ago in a little garage in the south of England. And then slowly over the last 8 years, we've been developing and growing globally. And we're actually developing a handheld laboratory, basically tricorder diagnostics, a bit like your Star Trek.
Fantastic. And I'm wearing my Star Trek dress today.
I'm impressed, very impressed.
In ode to this very cool device that I'm extremely excited about. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about it and maybe show it because it's there? It's
yes,
cool.
This is actually just a prototype, and it's just a model to show everyone what the concept is. So we have a handheld reader into which a disease-specific cartridge like malaria or TB or even tumour profiling as well, so cancer profiling, gets inserted into the device, and then you press go, and within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on the complexity of the sample, out comes the result. And it's not just a yes-no answer of yes, you have malaria, or yes, you have tuberculosis. It's also you have tuberculosis, but this is what drug to actually give you. So it's the full result in your palm of your hand in under 15 minutes. So really cool technology.
It actually offers you recommendations.
It does offer the recommendations, yes.
Is this going to take away some of the power of the doctor? Is this going to replace the doctor?
Yes, this is a very good question, because obviously there's a few little jealousies here and there going on, and concerns as well, that you're actually taking the diagnosis away from doctors or away from pathologists. We don't think so. This is going to be another tool for the doctor to work with. So rather than, let's say you go to your doctor, you're feeling a bit unwell, they take a throat swab or they take a pinprick of blood. That blood then goes off to a laboratory, takes a few days to turn around, and in the meantime your doctor's prescribed you an antibiotic that probably doesn't work. What this will allow you to do, or what QPOC, which is called QuantuMDx's point of care, allows you to do, is to actually give you a proper diagnosis in the palm of a hand at the consultation. So not only what disease you have, or what drug to actually give you. Or if you've got, in the case of a cold, you go away and have a paracetamol and go to bed. Yes.
How does it actually work? What are you looking for? Like, are they testing for bacteria? What is the actual technology?
It depends. It really does depend on what we're actually looking for, what disease we're looking for. In most cases, what we're doing is analysing DNA or RNA. That's the blueprint of life. And what we've also done is that scientists around the world have already worked out what little mutations in a bug or a microbe or something like that, what little mutations are. And what we've done, we've actually spotted them onto a computer chip. So we have basically converted the code of life, DNA, into binary code, and then we just read it just like normal computer technology. But what we've also done, which is most important, is and this is an example of an old research cartridge, disposable cartridge, is that we put the typical laboratory process onto a credit card size disposable device. So you have to first of all break open the cells from the sample, and we do that by a little blender. It's actually the fin of your mobile phone that vibrates, and we put some beads in, it smashes it all up. Then we have a special filter, which we call a QPrep filter, and that's a DNA extraction. So we take all the DNA away from the cellular debris. Then we make more copies of it on a biological photocopier, which is called PCR reaction, and then we use a computer chip to actually detect the DNA. If the DNA is present of an infectious disease, the little electrical biosensor sort of lights up. It changes the resistance, and that gets read on the handheld reader. Then we use various computer codes, which I really don't understand. I've got very clever people to do that. And then the readout then comes onto the display within about 15 minutes.
Previously, how would this have been done? Was this done with big machines? Is this like the miniaturization of some process that already exists?
Yes, we have miniaturized many, many different processes in a typical laboratory. So a big centralized laboratory has lots of machines for each process. One machine to open up the cells, one machine to extract the DNA, one to make more copies, one to read it, and then one to analyse some more. Then the result goes back to the doctor, who then analyses it some more and tells the patient. So what we've done is we've miniaturised an entire laboratory, which could possibly be the size of this room, into a $2 piece of piece of plastic, basically. Yeah.
Has there been any resistance to this machine? Is there any worry about it?
Yes, in the beginning there was a bit of resistance because people didn't understand what we're trying to do. What we're doing is actually providing an adjuvant to traditional centralised testing. So we have specifically developed this for particularly high burden countries, Africa and India, very, very rural areas where there's no healthcare system really of note. So we're able to take the laboratory to the patient rather than the patient coming to the laboratory. And you think out in very rural parts of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia, people have to walk miles and miles and miles and maybe 2-3 days just to have a test. What we're doing is we can have any operator, any healthcare professional just going out in their Land Rover, their Jeep, and then going to the community and actually testing the population. But importantly for us is the connectivity, because it means that if they're, let's say for Ebola, the outbreak in Ebola, people who have this type of handheld laboratory out in the field will be able to identify patient zero, and that's so important to prevent the spread.
What's the results when you compare these results to the more standard tests? Have you done those comparative tests?
Yes, we've done some like-for-like testing. It's still not quite out yet because we have to go through more clinical trials and the regulatory side. But so far, the like-for-like results, so the test results from ours compared with the gold standard, have been commensurate, if not a little better. So it's very I have to say promising, because until we go to the FDA and CE marking, then I can't say for sure it's fantastic, but it's looking very promising.
Well, I think this is a very interesting technology, and I can't wait to see what you guys do.
Thank you.
Let's speak a little bit about TOA and our time here at the festival. You've spent part of the day here hanging out. Is this your first time at TOA?
It's my first time, yes. I hadn't appreciated it, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's so different. And the word unconference just sums it up beautifully. I've never heard of an unconference. And in my line, being the CEO, I tend to go to these really big, highfalutin conferences where there's a lot of academic rigor and this, that, and the other. And it's terribly stuck up. I shouldn't really say that because they're great conferences. But this is so laid back. And you just meet different people. Like I do a lot of conferences. Meet a lot of on the political side, the academic side. Here, there's everyone. And what I love most, being a little older than the average age here, is that there are a lot of young people who are so enthused about new technology and want to talk about it and want to use social media to tweet about it, to put on Facebook and all the other things. It's just amazing. It really is.
Did you get any new insights have you watched any of the talks?
I have watched some of the talks, yes.
What was the most exciting talk you've seen?
Well, I have to say the dress. That dress that's provoked so much social media, what colour is it? It was that, I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed other things. There was just talking, sort of more mundane, talking about paying over the internet, and it's really from my point of view, because we're probably going to be people are going to be paying for our technology. It's very cheap, but we're paying our technology. I learnt now how to actually be able to pay on social media and the future. Little tiny things like that from a business point of view was great.
It's so nice, and it's always nice to also explore those industries that are not exactly yours, but maybe they're facing problems that are similar or that could be like maybe they're creating solutions that could be compatible in yours.
Well, I met one girl, I can't really say anything, but she's got a technology that has the potential to be non-invasive blood taking, and that's going to be fantastic for our device. So we're already talking about a collaboration going under a confidentiality agreement, and that could potentially solve one of the biggest headaches of actually taking a sample, which can be painful at times.
So then we are really getting closer to the tricorder, which you just scan a body and then you're able to actually find out all of the problems. This is so very cool.
That's what makes it so cool and so interesting. And also just the environment as well, very, very bohemian environment. And you've got the grass outside and you just meet people and you sit on bean bags and you just talk tech and other things.
Well, listen, Elaine, thank you so much for this interview. It was so great to meet you and to get a chance to find out about this great technology.
Anna, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.